Today is October 1st, 2008. We're sitting in the Southfield Public Library in Southfield, Michigan for the Veterans History Project. My name is Tim Workus and I'm a member of the Southfield Veterans Commission. And today we're interviewing Thomas Bainbridge as our veteran. So to get started, why don't you say your name fully, your birth date, and we'll get going.
Thomas Bainbridge, born April 27th, 1935 in Detroit, Michigan. Born and raised in Detroit.
Okay, before you, any relatives that were in the service, parents, World War II veterans or anything?
During the Second World War, several of my uncles were in the Canadian Armed Forces as far as that was concerned. Mm-hmm. Nothing as far as the U.S. was concerned because we didn't have any citizens of the United States at that point in time.
Okay. All right. What were you doing before you went into the service? School still, working? What were you doing before you went into the military?
Well, actually, my background started, as far as the military is concerned, started at 14 when I went to a private military school down in Indiana. And then upon graduation from that, I had the opportunity to go to West Point, and I spent 4 years at West Point. Graduated in June the 4th of 1957. And at that time was also commissioned a second lieutenant in the United States Army in the infantry branch.
Let's just hold right there for a minute. What made you pick the Army as opposed to Navy or Marines? I mean, what was the compelling issue that I want to go in the Army?
Well, when I graduated from high school, I was qualified to go to the University of Michigan on a naval scholarship, but at the last minute, the congressman from Michigan appointed me to the military academy at West Point, and I said, well, you can't do much better than that, so I said, we'll let the Navy go and we'll go to West Point. So that was it.
Now, what year was that?
That would have been 1953.
1953. So West Point, that's in Maryland, I guess?
New York.
New York, okay.
50 miles up the Hudson from New York City.
So how did you get there?
My folks drove me out, and we stayed overnight. Actually, we went up through Toronto and met my aunt and uncle. And the night before we were going to drive on to West Point, we watched a movie on TV, coincidentally called Francis Goes to West Point. So next day we drove up to West Point, and there's a large sally port there to go into the main area, the main barracks area, and there was a sign there that said, "New cadets report here." And I said to my mom and dad, I said, well, I'll go in and sign in and I'll be right back out. That was the last I saw of my mom and dad, needless to say, because once you went through that sally port, that was it. Different life, different world completely.
You hear a lot of things about life as a plebe or whatever. So what was that like? Indoctrination and stuff?
Well,